Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Hope you are doing good. If you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe. Today on the show, I have an amazing person. He is one of a kind and he is going to gist with us today. Yes, we have like amazing, mind-blowing story for you. Larry, thank you so very much for coming on the show.
No problem, no problem, no problem. How are you today?
I am fine. Guys, he is looking so cute. Like, can you see the pregnancy updates? Like, oh my God. I,
Oh
I'll
man.
keep the excitement, all in. But damn. Mm.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So tell us about yourself, where you are right now. Just give us a little gist.
Okay, so my name is Larry. I'm 30 years old. I actually live in San Diego, California right now. I have a podcast that I do as well called Shameless Pillow Talk. I usually get together with people and record, life, love, a bunch of other, crazy stories that people have to share. I'm currently in the military right now. I've been in 9 years. I have one dog. His name's Roman. He's 5 years old. He's my baby. And I'm like super happy to be here. This is like my first time ever being featured on anything ever.
Wow, I am honored. I am thrilled.
I am so excited that you offered, to have me join your show for this episode. I'm excited. I'm excited. I can't wait to get into this.
Okay, okay. Yes, so he has a podcast. Before the end, at the end of the show, you will tell us where we can find your podcast so we can listen. So yes, you said you are in the military right
Yes.
now. And I have honestly been wanting to talk to somebody that has military experience or has
Mhm.
been there. I think it's based on the movies I have seen. So I want to
Yeah.
know is like how was the life like. But first off, why did you join the military? Why?
So so I joined the military back in 2011. I really wanted to get out of Indiana. That's where I'm from. I'm from Indianapolis, Indiana. Nobody's ever heard of it. um, but yeah, I did it to get out of Indianapolis. I tried going to school for maybe like a semester after I graduated high school, and then I tried, working like odd jobs here and there, like grocery stores, retail, and it just wasn't for me. Like, so I remember it like it was yesterday. I left school, got my things, went into a recruiting office because one of my cousins, I remember she was telling me, she was like, "Oh, you should definitely join the Navy. Like, I'm planning on doing it." And I mean, I know I had tried it once before and I was like, I'm not really too sure about it. Like, this is like a big step in my life, and I had never been outside of Indianapolis. Um, and then I walked into a recruiter's office and we talked for a bit, probably like maybe 15, 20 minutes, told him everything, my plans, my goals, and he set me straight, found me a job. He was like, what kind of job do you want to do? And I was like, I just want to leave. I would like to leave whatever you have that'll get me out of here the quickest. And he was like, all right. So I want to say maybe 4 months later, I was off to boot camp, and it was a time. It was a time, I will say that.
Were you scared? How old were you when you decided to join up?
So the first time I was 18, 19. Second time, it was just before my 21st birthday. I was 20 years old, and then 21 came, and a month later, I was gone.
Were you scared?
I was. I was 100% scared. I wasn't too much scared of like boot camp because I saw how it was in movies. Um,
Hmm. Yeah.
but it is. there are similarities and there are differences, but I will say that I I was more afraid of it being my first time flying anywhere.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. So I mean now here I am. I mean it was 2 months, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. Like I was terrified, but it wasn't that bad.
I'm glad that you're honest, that who wouldn't be terrified, especially with what we see in the movies when you're like,
Mhm.
okay, I'm signing up for the military, and first thing is guns blazing, arms
Yes,
coming off, legs come, do I want this? Do I really, really want this? So yeah, I think anybody and everybody will be terrified. But then,
100%.
was it worth it? Is it worth it? Because you're still in the military, yes?
Mhm. Yeah, 9 years later, it's still worth it. Like if I had to go back and make a change in anything, I wouldn't.
Okay, so what's the best part about being in the military?
Honestly, the best part is meeting the different people because you meet people from all walks of life, from different locations. But honestly, meeting all the people that that stuck with me and turned into family, like because we're all together in this one little unit. So you know, they say, blood's thicker than water, but I honestly feel like, I found some of my best friends, brothers and sisters in the military.
Nice, nice. Did
Nah.
you did you did you fight? Did you go to war? Did you throw bombs? I'm a novice at this, so I don't know how it goes. But what happens when you're on the field? Let us live it with you. Are there bombs flying, guns blazing, people running? Does that actually happen, or it's just in the movies?
Honestly, I've never seen it. I've never seen it. I hear that it does happen, but I personally have never seen it.
You are lucky. You
I am.
are Yeah, you are lucky because a lot, okay, based on the movies we have seen, I know like
Hmm.
there's a war, and after the war, you come home with PTSD and you
Hmm.
fall into depression, and but you're smiling and you're blushing
Yeah,
and you're looking so good. You don't have to deal
thank
with all
you.
those trauma.
I
It's you are
don't.
lucky.
Thank you. I mean, I hear people talk about it and, they do say that, a lot goes on out there, but I've never been there to see it. I've never shot anybody.
Okay.
Never shot anybody. I've never, been shot at. So, I mean, I feel like it's been pretty good here.
I do hope none of those two ever happens. So
I
when
hope so
you know,
too.
it doesn't help. But how are you able to handle everything, your life at the military and your personal life, family? How are you able to manage and do all of that?
So I do a lot of compartmentalizing. So I have to put you know, time for friends over here. I have to put, time for work over here. I have to put, like I have to literally make time for different things. And I maximize my off days. It's really just like going to work and coming home. I just, I have to make time for people otherwise, or make time for things. Otherwise you'll go stir crazy just sitting there not doing anything, like going home, I mean going to work, coming home and going to sleep. It's not a practical thing to do, but you still have to just, make sure you have a balance. That's what I want to say. Just a
Yeah,
balance. It's not hard to do. It's just like living a normal life. Um, and do it every day. I've been doing it for like 9 years. Like once you get into like a routine, you pretty much just keep going, and it gets easier.
yeah, because you're now used to it, so definitely it
Yeah,
gets easy. But what
yeah.
has been your most challenging moment or your most challenging situation since ever?
So most likely would have to be the flexibility. like the military, you have to be extremely flexible. You can go anywhere at any time. Your shifts can change, or you pack up and leave in a moment's notice to move locations. Like like nothing is. I'm not gonna say nothing is like on a schedule, but you just have to be ready for
Anything.
anything at any time. So me, I like structure. I like, I like schedules. If I happen to, deviate from one of them, like, by a little bit, like, at least I have like an idea of what I want to do. Like being in the military, you're not gonna have an idea of anything. It's either this or that, and you gotta do it. You gotta do it. There's no options there.
Okay, how does your work life? You said there's basically no schedule, kinda in the military base, like
Mhm.
anything goes. So how does your work life affect your love life? In sense, it always throws you off balance. You can't plan and anything like that. And you said you deal with structure. Not all girls can handle, pack your bags and leave. So how do you do it?
Honestly, I don't. I
Don't
don't
tell me
handle it.
don't tell me it's just your baby that is in the picture. Don't tell me it's
Hmm.
just your baby that's
It's just my dog.
I think
Yeah.
I'm going to save up. This is part of my list now. It's on my to-do list. I'm going to save up and take a flight to California since obviously you are single and I don't even want to know if you're ready to mingle or not. But you are single. So I love dogs.
Yeah.
So yes,
Yeah.
that is really really nice. So I think it takes the pressure off a bit. You don't have to deal with so much because like a
Mhm.
relationship can really it involves your 100%. And with what you do, with the work you do, you actually need someone that's like really really understanding. And even at that, it can be a lot to handle. So
Right.
it's still cool.
I mean, I've done relationships in the military, and you just have a lot of people that don't understand like what it is that you do. Like you pack up and leave, and then it's just like, wow, you're leaving for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 months. Like, what am I supposed to do? And the next thing you know, it's like you're single by the time you come back. Not all of it works that way, but not everybody. I mean, you just have to find like a person that fits. Like, you just have to. The person that you find has to be just as flexible as you are, because anything can change. So I'm here. I mean, like like I
I
had to leave my
understand.
dog. I
Yeah,
had to
I
leave
get
my
it.
dog, just to be flexible. So it's a dog has to be flexible. So it's yeah. So
Yeah,
it's
I get
crazy.
it. Aside work, what else do you have going aside work and aside the podcast? What else do you do for fun, for social activities? Yeah, stuff like that.
So I mean, I've always liked going to the gym. Like that's always been my thing. Like once when I was in Hawaii, when I was
Oh,
in
go
Hawaii,
on, go on.
yeah, when I was in Hawaii, I got into it really big or whatever, and then I'm moved out here and I had to do the same thing. Go to the gym because I mean the military you have to stay in shape. Like, but other than that, like I I've been working on my podcast like super heavy this year. So because I feel like, I had to invest a lot of time and money into that. So it's like last year it was kind of like a hobby, like just something I would do in my free time. But now it's kind of like I really enjoy doing this. So if if you look, I'm always like trying to do something and try to be active with it. So people can see how much of a passion this is for me. It's crazy. And I would never even guess that in 2021 I would have a podcast or anything. Like I'm always just trying to be out doing something. So it's like now I'm like a homebody. It's crazy.
So why did you decide to start? I think last year, because of the whole COVID,
Mhm,
everyone, okay, it was last year I basically knew about podcasting. That's when I started podcasting as well. So did
mhm.
was it because of the lockdown? Was that why you started a podcast, or you had an actual reason for starting? There was something that motivated you to start a podcast.
Well, I had been trying to think of like what I wanted to do. And I remember I was at lunch with one of my friends and she was telling me, she was like, we were just, just talking about different things. She was like, you should start a YouTube channel. And I was just like, I'm not really like a YouTube person. And then, everybody's like, the whole TikTok wave. And I'm like, I am not like people get on there and it's like, they're automatically funny. And it's just like I would literally have to sit there and think of like stuff to say for like months at a time before I posted my first TikTok. So we were talking, we were at lunch, and she's like, well, you literally like you talk about everything all the time. So why not like start a podcast then? And I'm just like, it's not actually a bad idea. Like I've never actually gotten into it like really like heavy. So then I decided, I'll just do my research on it. It took me about maybe 2 weeks to actually like put my foot forward and actually try to do it. But I was going on how to start a podcast, what I would start a podcast about. But my whole thing was I see a lot of news podcasting, I see a lot of, celebrity podcasting and everything, but I don't see a lot of like podcasts where people talk about anything. Like on my podcast, anything. Like there's nothing that's off limits. Like we can talk about literally anything that's going on. And just as long as you don't disrespect anybody. That's like my main thing that I talk about on there. You can say whatever, you can do whatever, like we can talk about anything, whatever's on your mind. Just make sure you're really respectful. So it's like I started that in November of 2019. And then once, the lockdown hit, it kind of became like, a heavier thing that I wanted to do because I was still in the process of like, is this still a hobby? Do I really want to do this? Do I see myself doing this next year? And now here it is. Here it is. So yeah, I did have an actual reason for starting one. And then, the lockdown kind of kept it, moving along. So yeah.
That it's nice. That's really nice. So what's the
Yeah.
name of your podcast and where can we check it out?
It's called Shameless Pillow Talk. It's actually on Apple, Spotify, Google. Those are the main ones. I actually do live like sessions on
Okay.
Instagram, and I'll leave like the lives up for like I'll leave the lives on my page for until the actual episode drops. If you check the link in my bio on my Instagram page, it'll actually take you directly to the podcast that's on where the actual platform is.
Perfect. We will do
Yeah.
that. So yes, this is the end of the show. But before we leave, one last question. On your
Hmm.
page, the cheerleader costume, what
Hmm.
was that about? Please.
So, so another thing I was like, I want to do something really like crazy for Halloween. Like I never dress up for Halloween. Like that was the first time I had ever dressed up. Um, Out with a bunch of my friends. They were talking about their ideas and they were doing like traditional like, oh, I want to be a mermaid, I want to be a ghost, I want to be a whatever. And I was like, I think I want to be the the cheerleader from Bring It On. And everybody's like, oh, you gotta do it, you gotta do it, you gotta do it. And I'm like, it was kind of like a joke, but then it was like so many people were expecting it. So I was like, I mean, I got the outfit, I just don't have the hair. And then one of my friends, she took me out and she was like, let's go wig shopping. So here we are. Here we are. So I literally, one of my friends can tell you, like, I put on the costume at her house and I hid in the bathroom for like an hour and a half because I'm like, I'm not walking out of here. I am not walking out of here. It was so much, but I ended up having like such a good time that night.
That's good. It's good to do that once in a while. It was you were looking hot. Yeah, you were
Thank
looking.
you.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You are welcome. So thank you so very much for coming on the show, guys. It is a wrap, Larry. I really appreciate you. Were fun.
Thank
You are
you.
fun, and you are cute.
Thank
Just
you
have to.
so much. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
You are welcome. Guys, I will drop his handle and his podcast link in the bio. So do check him out and drop a comment. Like if you haven't subscribed, please do. I love you. And I will talk to you next week, Wednesday. Bye, guys.
Bye.